Hi, it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the astrology of 2024. So we're having a little peek into what's going to be going on next year. I'm going to talk about all the important transits and the important things that are going to be going on next year that you need to look out for, important dates, and peak times next year. So it's calling it a sneak peek, a look back before you look forward. So first and foremost, I would like to say a big thank you to all who watch, who subscribe, and really help me grow through this first year. It's been really exciting, and I appreciate y'all more than you know. And I hope you stay with me and continue to grow with me and just help me spread the word of astrology and really get like how astrology can affect you on a normal everyday basis, really out there. So if you have friends, relatives, anybody, acquaintances that are into astrology or are a little bit dabbling, then definitely have them check the channel out, and like we can help grow the channel together. So I think next year is going to be a great year, and I look forward to it with all of y'all. So definitely get in touch, write in the comments things you're looking for next year, things you would like me to talk about, and I would love to expand the channel and just, you know, do different things, even with tarot if you're interested in that. Whatever we can do to just bring it all together, I think it would be a lot of fun. So just wanted to say that huge thank you to y'all out there. So now on to the astrology of 2024. So if you're thinking that you're off the hook and 2023 is done, you are not correct. So I think next year is going to be just as intense as this year. So again, we're going to talk about the biggest transits. We're going to go month by month. So the biggest influences this year by date, we're going to go through first, and then we'll kind of fine tune. So we have Pluto, and it peaks again into Aquarius in January, same day as the Sun ingress. And so as the Sun moves in, Pluto moves in. So I expect to be, you know, that's going to be a pretty intense day, with then Mercury, Mars, and Venus on the 6th of February, the 14th, and the 17th, all moving in February to making a stellium with Pluto, Mercury, Mars, Venus, and of course the Sun. So that is a lot of Aquarius energy going on right there. So next we have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on April 20th in Taurus. I think that is going to be kind of like a Kickstarter of craziness to come. I think that, and I think that's going to be in the financial realm. I think then we have the eclipse season starting March 25th in Libra. We have sorry, I can't see my notes very well. And we have the solar eclipse in April in Aries. So then we have Jupiter going into Gemini in May. And then we have Jupiter in Gemini squaring Saturn in Pisces. That's on August 19th. I think that's going to be a big one. I think that's going to be pretty intense. And then we have Jupiter retrograde again squaring Saturn on December 24th. So not once, but twice. So that is going to be a big deal. So then we have the second set of eclipses on September 17th. We have the lunar eclipse in Pisces. That is going to be the first in the Pisces eclipse season that's going to be coming up. And then October 2nd is our in Libra, and that's going to be the last in the Libra-Aries axis. So, and then finally we have Pluto moving permanently, at least permanently for the next 20 years, on November 19th, going into Aquarius for good. So January start off, now we're going to go through the months. So January we start off with that Pluto moving into Aquarius for yet another sneak peek on the 20th of January. So you want to look back before you look ahead. So last time Pluto was in Aquarius, and I've talked about this on past videos, so definitely check out that from last year where I talked about the history of Pluto in Aquarius. So the last time it was in 1778 when the U.S. had just gained its freedom from England. We were signing the Bill of Rights. We were signing the Constitution, putting in the Bill of Rights, really making the laws of this country. So now, with it moving back, what do we expect? Are the rules of this country going to change? This is Aquarius. Aquarius likes changing the rules and making new rules. So with everything that's going on in the world right now, not really going to be surprised. So we're probably going to see a lot of peaks of that coming up. People trying to change laws, change the Constitution. We see, a lot going on with freedom of speech right now. Like, what is freedom of speech? And that all being questioned. The gun control, a lot going on with that. So these are all in the Bill of Rights. And how are we going to use this going forward? How are we going to change this going forward? It's going to be really interesting. So prior to this was from 2008 to 2023, it was in Capricorn. 1995 to 2008 was in Sag. 56 to 71 was in Virgo. 38 to 56 was in Leo. So look back on your own life. What relevant things in your life were happening in that? So this is on a mundane level. We talk about, the U.S. Pluto return and what's going to be going on for the United States, but also how is this going to affect you? All these transits affect you in some way, especially these outer planet transits. So for me, just to give you kind of an example, so when I was born, of course, it was in Libra. So I was born in 1972, so it was in Libra. So kind of shaped my childhood until 1984. So pretty much growing up, I was 12 by the time it changed and moved out. So just kind of growing and learning. This is Libra. This was, my life. This is what I was developing into. So then it moved into Scorpio. So Scorpio is in my 11th house. Outside influences, other people, how they are influences in your life. Well, this really was a time where outside influences did influence my life. All the friends that I had had lost a parent within this time. A lot of major things happened to me because of choices I made during this time. My life kind of, started building. I ended up getting married within this time. I had my 2 children within this time, all by 1995, when it then changes. So those are all the people and outside influences. So look at your chart. Where is this in your chart? Where did this all fall in your chart? What should you expect to see? Is it going to be a huge transformation for you? Is it going to be, just definitely something you want to take a look at? If you don't have your chart, contact me, astrotyastrology@gmail.com, or go to my website, astrotyastrology.net, and you can request a birth chart. Just give me all your info that I need, your birthplace, time, and date. And if you want a little write-up, let me know what exactly you're looking for, and I can put a little something together. So then moving on, in 1995 to 2008, it was in Sagittarius. Pluto moved into Sagittarius. For me, it was in my 12th house. I worked from home. I really took a lot of advantage of that, working from home. I learned how to do a lot of things. I actually wrote a couple books and had them published. So very Sagittarius. I had to learn how to do this stuff. I had to do research. I had to research how to go about submitting to publishers, to do all this. I also had to, I was doing a daycare out of my home. I had to learn how to do that. So a lot of that inward, that going deep inside myself to get out this creative, staying home. So a lot of 12th house. And then in Capricorn, when it moved in 2008 till pretty much current, is really what transformed my life. So that was in my first house, and I started working outside the home, and I became the person that I was. I became who I am. I have been working at the job that I'm at pretty much this whole time. So that's very Capricorn. That became my identity, is this job. This is what I do. This is what I'm known for. This is my life revolved around the job that I do. But now I'm kind of, putting out feelers into things that I was interested in way back before everything changed. So this, going back to the things I was interested in back when um, it was in Scorpio. So going back to those Scorpio kind of tendencies, of getting, really revving up my astrology practice, really revving up my tarot practice. So look at what it might mean for you. And now when moving into my second house, really going to be interesting, I think. Financially, who knows? We'll see. Also with the U.S. Pluto, return, that's going to be a big one. So then we move on to February. February, we have that stellium in Aquarius, Pluto, Sun, Mars, Mercury, Venus. So I really would expect to see a lot of passion around this time. Passion for what people's convictions are. So a lot of demonstrations, increases in more demonstrations, more debates, people pushing their convictions and their agendas on others. This is Aquarian energy here. This is what, people want to do to fix the world. They want to fix and save the world, change the world. This is very Aquarian energy going on. So I would expect a lot of that, especially too, this is on a mundane level, it's that push and pull, it's that one side seeing one way, the other side seeing the other way, and really not coming together. So I would expect that to really continue this this polarity around the world of people feeling one way and then the other side, and this is just not meshing. Also, on a more personal level, expect to feel this if you are in Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant on the angles, or any fixed sign for that matter, because you'll be either squared or in opposition to it. So wanting to conform, to that conventional thinking, or wanting to break out of that conventional thinking, and that conventional behavior, wanting to break free of that, feeling misunderstood or unheard when you're trying to get your points across. That could be a feeling of this going on. That's the Mercury, wanting to break free. That's the Mars. This also can mean a lot of pushes and big advancements in innovations, I would think in technology, a lot of new technology coming out, a lot of changes in technology. So watch for new things popping up in that area. Also, they will all eventually square Jupiter in Taurus. So that is money. Taurus is all about money. Jupiter is expansion of money. So maybe it's going to be into this innovations into different types of money, cryptocurrencies, gold, silver is going to be, I think, really kind of coming up to the forefront, and starting in around February. So then in March, we have the lunar eclipse in Libra on the 25th. We also, so that lunar eclipse, those are always big. Of course, all these things we're going to get into as we get closer to the dates next year, and we'll really fine tune everything. So I think this is when things really start ramping up with this eclipse for next year. We also have, Venus, Mercury, Mars. They're scoring Uranus and Taurus. So we have those peaks from those innovations that are coming out, and that technology, that money, taking a sudden turn. This is Uranus we're talking about. So that's sudden change. So if things are looking great, all of a sudden, boom, things might fall through. Stock market might have some crashes. Cryptocurrency might have some crashes. So a lot of volatility, I'm thinking, with money and money-related things, gold, silver, cryptos, all that. I think that's going to be a huge, huge part of 2024. So we also, in April, moving on, we have the solar eclipse in Aries. So that is kind of a culmination, or an ending and new beginning. So this is an Aries, so very much new beginnings. But we also have Mercury going retrograde. So as Aries tries to get things going, the Mercury retrograde kind of keeps things a little bit slowed down. So this could be actually more about going over what went on before with the all the squares to Uranus. So maybe any of the issues that happen now, we have to revamp. We want to rework on it and, kind of fixing it, restructure things so that we can then, you know, go back at it. So maybe if it is, say, like a cryptocurrency type thing that kind of fell through, we kind of look back at it and say, how can we fix this for the future to make things better? So then we have a big conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. So that, again, very money related. So that one is a big one. It's big changes, innovations, money, currencies. Again, it boosts in the stock market. I think things are really going to go up. This, you know, it's a conjunction, so things are really going to go and get bigger, fast, bigger changes in different types of currencies, different types of things, or just different things in general. You know, in the financial realm anyway. That's what I would think. Then, you know, we got to remember, you know, Jupiter then is going to just move out, and it's going to be into Gemini. So it ingresses into Gemini, and another time to really look back before you look forward. So on a personal level, we look at Jupiter in our own charts to see how it affects you. So where has Jupiter and Gemini been in your chart in history, and what has gone on in your life? I know for me, there's been some huge changes in Jupiter and Gemini. So Gemini is in my 6th house. That's of my everyday work and routines. So with Jupiter going through that, big changes in my everyday lifestyle. So going back, we had, you know, the Jupiter in Gemini in the recent history was 65 and 66, 1976 and 1977, 1988 and 89, 2000 through 2001, 2012 to 2013, 2024 to 2025. So this is, look back and think about, okay, what was going on in your life then, you know, whatever house Gemini is in for you. Again, if you don't have the chart, contact me. I'll get you one. I'll give you a little write-up, and you'll be able to look. So every 12 years about is when Jupiter is in the same sign. And it's when it goes all the way around the zodiac. So Jupiter also is in detriment in Gemini. So it is in its dignity in Sag. So Gemini is the polarity of Sag, so it is in its detriment. So some of these effects may be negative, Gemini, so it may be doubled, or it may be, you know, just that it's, you know, maybe there's going to be some lies being told. So watch for Ponzi schemes, things like that, and just look at how this might have affected you. I know, so now Jupiter in my history, so back when we start, let's see, the date, 76, 77, I was 4, don't really remember a whole lot about that. Maybe hurt myself on my big wheel and learned that maybe I should have done something a little bit different. But I was 4 and 5, so don't remember much then. 88, 89, that was super pivotal in my life. Those 2 years were probably the most pivotal years in my life to this day. I had lost a parent in 88. And then in 89, I had some huge personal things happen to me. I won't get into those with you, but they pretty much changed me and who I was as a human being. Kind of made me grow up and made me pretty much who I am today. Changes that will never, you know, that never kind of get better. 2000 to 2001, I bought my first home. So that's changes in everyday work routine. That's definitely very 6th house, doing everything different, dealing with the problems, the benefits, you know, doing yard work, you know, problems in the house, paying all these bills. Really that change in your everyday routines, that was huge. Buying a house really does that. Again, could be wherever it is in your life. It's going to be totally different if it's in your 12th house, if it's in your 8th house, 7th house. You know, 4th house. In 12 and 13, I ended up getting divorced. So that was a huge change. Learning after 18 years, learning how to live by myself, having my children by myself, and, doing everything on my own. Really scary, really big change. I also have Saturn in my 6th house, so these are things I had to learn. These are things I had to grow into, things I had to be mature. Losing my parent, I had to mature. Buying a house, I had to get mature. So look at also what's in these houses where these are crossing. So that's going to make a big difference. So 2024 to 25, I expect some big things in my everyday life, so it'll be interesting to see. So I see some big changes with Pluto moving into my 2nd house, and this, we'll see. Anyway, so, look for that. Definitely get your chart, and you want to check that out to see how it's going to affect you. So then, moving on, June, we have Mars in Taurus, and that is going to be squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So watch out again. This is a lot pointing towards money. Issues around money and crypto, that odd money. This is Aquarius. It's different. It's the new innovations. It's not just the old, paper dollars. If it was Saturn, or if it was Capricorn, it would be more that paper money. But now this is different. This is, Taurus, very money related, squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Big, big transformations when it comes to the financials, the different kinds of money, cryptos, golds, silver, investments, stock markets, that type of thing. Those. We also have Saturn in this time in June turning retrograde. So that's hurdles, things that we've worked for, really, maybe not coming to the fruition that we wanted them to. So then July, a little bit calmer. That Mars square Uranus encourages us to really seize the day, do something different, just go for it. Think outside the box, do something outside the box. This is Mars squaring Uranus, for gosh sake. Mars likes to act without regard. Uranus just says, hey, do it. Just make that change. So, do something different. Make that change, because, maybe we're going to be cleaning up from whatever happened in June and the beginning of the year with all this money stuff. Maybe it was good, beneficial money stuff for you. How are you going to utilize that? How are you going to do that to your benefit? So then in August, we have Mercury again going retrograde, the 4th through the 28th. Virgo, going from Virgo to Leo. So going from mutable to fixed. So that kind of changeability, kind of being a little more fixed and a little more focused. And, so Jupiter will also square Saturn on the 19th. So this one, I think, is the other biggie that's really going to be happening. This is that limiting aspect, trying to regain control of something, control that you lost. Last time, we had this happen was 2020. I think there was a lot of control going on then, a lot of control that was once lost, but they might be trying to regain that control. So on a mundane level, you might be seeing that. You might be seeing like the government's trying to regain that control that they had back then. So also, on just a personal level, maybe ways that you might have lost control over the last couple of years. Maybe with work. I know there's been a lot of changes in work. Business is trying to gain control over their employees. I know in my line of work, employment has been really tough, and people have been, people either don't want to work, people are making their own rules. So I see a lot of changes going on there, maybe trying to get that control. And I know we've been trying to gain back that control over the employees that just kind of was lost during COVID, and getting a whole new workforce together and just getting, an office back in ship shape. So I think that's going to be happening a lot around the world, a lot of trying to gain back that control. It could be a little much. Are they going to push it too far again? And then in December, when Jupiter goes retrograde, it's going to happen again. So all that control that you gained, are we going to lose it? So it's a big aspect to watch. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. And I think this is when the U.S. starts seeing that big shift that we're expecting, that's really going to come to fruition at the end of the year and then into 2025, actually. when Neptune and Uranus make their transition out of sign into the next sign. So we'll of course get into that. That's all 2025. We won't worry about that right now, but everything's getting to that critical degree, so you have that panicky kind of feeling going on. So then September, we have the first in our eclipse series of Pisces. That's going to be on September 17th. So keeping along with that mutable trend, okay, changes are coming, go with the flow. Pluto back in Capricorn for the last time on September 3rd. Transformation is gonna begin. So let's get that foundation down. Pluto keeps going back. I want this foundation to be built. Capricorn, we gotta build this foundation because we're getting ready for that change when I move into Aquarius in a couple months. So we need to get this finalized, get serious here. So this last ingress into Capricorn, I think, is really where we fine tune, and when the world just really starts getting ready for this huge shift, this global shift of change that is just imminent. It's written in the stars. This is what we've been looking at for years now, and this is what we've been getting ready for. And this is what a lot of astrologers have been predicting, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So Pluto, just it's playing around at that anaretic degree. It's like that panicky feeling. That's going to continue. That's going to be continued throughout this whole year, where you just feel like, I need to do something. Something needs to be done. That panicky feeling, I think on just a mundane level in just society, is that panic. Things are got to change. That's why you're going to see more protests. You're going to see more activists, more just upheavals, because of this rushed panic feeling of, we need to make things change. We need to change the world, change the laws. We need to make things better in so many ways. Maybe with the global warming, maybe with immigration, with the wars going on. And so it's really a lot at stake here. In October, Jupiter stations retrograde. We have the last of our Libra eclipses. So this is a really big culmination of that Libra and Arian energies. So check your charts again. Look back to April 2023. What things were you working on? See what it means for you. This is really the last of it with the Libra eclipses. So where is this for you? For me, it's in my career. So again, I think that's going to be a huge change for me. Libra is in my 10th house of career. It's going to be, shifting. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. I expect change, maybe payoffs at work for the work I've put in. Who knows? So November, it's the month of the election. I think this is really where things in the United States are just going to take a pivotal turn. And I think it doesn't matter how the election turn out. I think no matter what, it's going to cause some craziness. So this is right after the eclipse. Pluto moves into Aquarius shortly afterwards. So huge shift coming with this election. I'm going to just dive in and really, people have predictions all over the place already of what's going to happen. One saying one saying the other. So, then we have Mercury then going retrograde on the 26th. Saturn coming out of retrograde on the 12th. So this is it. This is the ending of, this is the ending of society as we know it, and I think changing to a whole different society. People are talking, and it just looks like whatever happens with this election, there's going to be craziness. I hope it's not a civil war. It's looking like things are just going to get worse before they get better. So hold on tight. I think that, this whole year is really leading us to this change we're expecting for 2025. So it's all just in preparation for, okay, we need to get prepared. This is what, things are going to go bad before they get better. So you need to work with things. You need to prepare. You need to prepare yourself. really just hold on tight. So we'll go into all these details as we get closer to the dates, because we do our monthlies, we do our weeklies, we're going to focus on certain things. We might do some election charts. So, maybe on some cryptos, we're going to really start diving deep this year and really getting in on this. So make sure that you hit that notification bell. If you haven't subscribed, definitely do it, because I think next year is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to grow. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your friends to check out the channel. I'd love to hear from y'all. Let me know what you're looking for. But anyway, I hope you all have a great new year. Be safe out there, everyone. Get some rest, because next year is going to be a doozy. So I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.